evening, ladies and gentlemen, football lovers across South Africa and wherever you are around the globe. Welcome to Let's Argue Football, the show where passion meets analysis and where opinions are never in short supply. Now, this weekend delivered everything that makes football great sport on earth. There were cup upsets, there were title drama, there were derbies that shook entire leagues. Across Europe, giants were tested. Paris Saint-Germain stand in their own palace. Barcelona tightened the grip in Spain, while AC Milan reignited the Serie A title race with a seismic derby win. Now, here in Mzansi, the Nedbank Cup reminded us why knockout football is so dangerous, as giant killers emerged once again. So tonight, we unpack it all from England to Spain, Italy to France, and right here in Mzansi. And with the Champions League returning this week, the stakes are about to explode. But this is Let's Argue. And that means tonight we debate, we analyze, and we settle the arguments. Let me introduce the man joining me. First up is the man who believes football is a science before it is entertainment. A tactical brain who reads a match like a chessboard. Our analyst who reads the game, 2 passes. Timo.
Thank you, Lebza. Thank you, Mood Engineer. Good evening to all the viewers. This is another edition of Let's Argue. What a weekend we had. Title races tightening across Europe. Giant killings in cup competitions and tactical battles everywhere. Tonight, we break down what really happened between the score lines. Lebza.
All right, check it out. Let's get straight into the FA Cup review, Thibo, because obviously Roy is going to be joining us later, so obviously when Roy joins in, we are the 3 Musketeers that you get on the Monday and on the Friday. We begin in England. The FA Cup 5th round, where dreams are made and sometimes shattered. Timo?
Yeah, no, I'm telling you, the FA Cup was absolutely mental this past weekend. We saw Wolverhampton going down to Liverpool. I think if Van Roy was here, he would be very happy and jovial at this result. 3-1 away. Liverpool arrived at Molineux with revenge on their minds. But in the FA Cup, Liverpool responded like champions. Now, Andy Robertson delivered a captain's performance from left back, controlling the tempo, creating the width, and driving this Liverpool side forward. And the biggest story, of course, is 17-year-old Rio Ngumoha. I hope I pronounced that correctly. This boy is fearless, Lebza. This boy is direct. And he is showing a level of maturity that is well beyond his age. Liverpool are into the quarterfinals looking like serious contenders.
Well, on the other side of the country, Newcastle were entertaining Manchester City, who both will be in action in the Champions League in midweek. But this time they were fighting it out for the FA Cup. This was the classic Manchester City. Newcastle started brilliantly, I might add. The beginning was fine, but remember, football is 90 minutes long. It's not how you begin. Harvey Barnes called this stunning opener after a beautiful Tonali through ball. But after St. James's Park erupted, City started their machine. They absorb the pressure and then they suffocate you. Mamouche scored twice, including a spectacular long-range strike. I hope you watch the highlights to see it again and again, because this one silenced the whole St. James's Park. Pep Guardiola's side once again proved that composure wins knockout football. Thibaut.
Yeah, no, listen, without a shadow of a doubt, this is absolutely spot on, because after that, we saw the world champions Chelsea traveling away to Wrexham in a 6-goal thriller that went all the way to extra time after the full 90 minutes. 4 goals to 2 for Chelsea. Listen, Wrexham nearly wrote one of the FA Cup's greatest story. They led twice in the game, Lebs. Even after going down to 10 men, they refused to collapse. They had that never say die mentality running through them. But extra time exposed the difference in depth. Goals from Alejandro Garnacho, Joao Pedro, and they finally broke the resistance of this Wrexham side. Chelsea
Yeah.
advanced to the next round, but they were pushed to the absolute limit. I don't know if this is a good omen on the eve of the Champions League against the defending holders or the defending champions of last year's Champions League edition.
It's going to be the Club World Cup final again. Now we'll see when everyone's fit and it's the middle of the season, who will come out top. So that one is definitely one we'll speak about a little bit later. But Mansfield are the Milford of South Africa. You know, they took Arsenal to a tough scare right there, because Mansfield Town were fearless and disciplined. But when the moment came, obviously, you know what? Me, in basketball, let me just explain my philosophy in basketball. In basketball, Tibone, I don't support a team, I support players. You understand? So I love players, so I will watch matches for these certain players. So even in football, I'm thinking that's what I should do. Obviously, Barcelona will be my holy grail, you know, where I go to get blessed. But then every other team in the world, I just want a t-shirt of the player I like, you know, because I just like how they play. So just like Eberechi Eze, Donna stepped off the bench, delivered magic, and one moment of elite quality decided this match. Now, that's top clubs. That's what you rely on. But look, Spain's title race continues to simmer, Thibaut. And this weekend, Barcelona and Real Madrid both needed moments of brilliance, even though yours was a deflection. Tell us about it.
No, let me tell you one thing. Now, on Friday, Real Madrid traveled to Vigo to play against Iago Aspas' Celta de Vigo, who are challenging for the Europa League. Real Madrid left it incredibly late to get all 3 points. Celta de Vigo pushed them to the brink of getting 1 point from this game. But deep into stoppage time, Federico Valverde produced a thunderbolt to win the match. Real Madrid keep their title hopes alive, but performances like this show the pressure that Barcelona are putting on them without a shadow of a doubt. Except Van Roy!
Pere, Owens, how's it? Are you guys good?
I'm
back. I'm yellow again.
You know,
your complexion is coming back.
It's better.
Yes. You got lights, you got electricity.
You got
electricity, you got everything.
You're going back to your ethnic group, Lani.
Yeah, I have to. How's it, guys? How's everybody doing?
We're good.
Not too bad, Lani. Not too bad. You know what it is.
Yeah. Let me tell you what happened in the Athletic Club. In the match, Athletic Club versus Barcelona. The Catalonians won that match. They are basically sitting pretty at the top. That was a statement win for them. San Mamés is one of the toughest stadiums in Spain, and Barcelona basically showed maturity during that match. They went for the moment, and then when that moment basically arrived, they went for it, bruh. Lamine Yamal on the other end, he had a curling of brilliance into the top corner. I don't know what that guy was. I don't know what is his mother feeding him right now, but at 18 years old, bruh, is already deciding title races. Barcelona now lead the La Liga table by 4 points. And yeah, Nubia Formen is coming at you guys in second place. But yeah, was a thriller.
Yeah, well, listen, it's not over till the fat lady sings, Van Roy. Discussion about the title already being decided. I don't know where that's coming from. But when we moved to the Wanda Metropolitano Stadium, we saw Atletico Madrid entertaining Real Sociedad in a 5-goal thriller where Atletico Madrid won 3-2 against a side led by Mikel Oyarzabal. This was pure chaos, gentlemen. 5 goals, momentum swings everywhere. A super sub, Nicolas Gonzalez, came off the bench and changed the game entirely, scoring twice, coming off the bench as a super sub. Makes you wonder why the coach didn't start him from the word go. Diego Simeone's side showed their classic resilience, and coming into the penultimate stages of the season, this is the exact temperament and mentality you want to see. Except Van Roy.
Yeah, sure. Then we saw the Yellow Submarines, Villarreal face off Elche. Villarreal won that match 2-1 at home, quietly, you know. Villarreal continue their Champions League push. They're really pushing to be there. They're showing dominance in that match, dominant in early goals from Bakanan and Moreno that gave them the control over Elche. They basically held firm even after Elche pulled one back and they scored a goal, but the Yellow Submarines remain firmly in the top 4 fight. I'm telling you, these people are really fighting to be in the Champions League for next campaign.
Yep, even Real Madrid should be fighting just for that because number one has already been taken. You know what? Ligue A gave us a shock. France delivered one of the biggest shocks of the weekend. And I heard, Timo, you were watching this one for us.
This one was an absolute thriller. Listen, if you were neutral watching this game, you were thoroughly entertained. Monaco went to the Parc des Princes, scored 3 goals, and left with all 3 points against this PSG side who are fighting tooth and nail to defend their league title from Lens. Monaco stunned Paris Saint-Germain. They were clinical in their finishing and their football was absolutely fearless. PSG's unbeaten home run has come to an end, gentlemen, and suddenly the title race and their Champions League confidence looks very fragile.
And come the league, what you call the world champions. The world champions will come with their confidence of beating who did they beat again in the FA Cup? They will come with confidence.
Yeah, Nia. Yelebza, did you hear how he pronounced it? He said Lens. But let me tell you about Lens. Lens also played. They also played. So Lens faced off against Metz. They won that match 3-0. No reply from Metz. Lens are basically the quiet assassins of League One. I'm telling you, these people, with this win, it basically puts them 1 point behind PSG and it's giving them a run for their money. All I can say is that the title race is officially alive. It is officially alive. These people are not going to let up. They're not going to give up. They're not going to give in. So yeah, big ups to them. Also, we saw Olympique Marseille that faced Toulouse. Toulouse actually played away from home. They traveled just to lose. The score was
Bars!
Bars, nigga. Yeah. So they traveled to Olympique Marseille to suffer a 1-0 defeat. Marseille showed professionalism. They were efficient. They got the 3 points, and that's all that matters. Marseille remains firmly in the Champions League hunt. Thibaut?
Oh yeah, without a shadow of a doubt, my man, they're definitely in the hunt for the Champions League place because we also saw Stade Rennais entertaining Nice. It was a 4-0 win for Stade Rennais. Rennais gentlemen are on fire. Rennais have conjured up 4 straight wins on the trot, and suddenly they've surged into the top 5 of Ligue 1.
Hey, Thibaut, speaking about the Ligue 1 title race coming back now, Lens 1 point behind PSG. I think we might also have some drama or telenovela happening in Serie A. Did we call it boring? I think maybe we were high or drunk or something because, man, now if you head to Italy, that's where the title race exploded. Roy, how did it explode, bruh?
Yo, bruh, there was you can basically call it a telenovela, né? This was a derby della Madonnina. It was AC Milan that faced off Inter Milan. AC Milan played at home. That match ended in a 1-0 win for AC Milan. The league leaders, Inter Milan, couldn't reply. There was pressure from both ends. They showed emotion. And history was made as well. AC Milan stunned the league leaders, Inter Milan, with a narrow victory. But you know what? It's a massive statement. Inter still lead They're on 67 points at the moment, but Milan have closed that gap. So the title race is alive, gentlemen. That's all I can say. I'm actually
Oh
glad
yeah.
it happened, with the last and the dying embers of the campaign, the 2025-2026 campaign. Yeah, I this is actually what I wanted. Drama at the end. And so
Oh
far
yeah.
it's living up to that drama. So we also saw Napoli that faced Torino. Napoli won that match 2-1. Napoli remain firmly in the title conversation. They're not that far from the top. And the biggest moment, we have Kevin De Bruyne returning from injury. That could basically change everything for Napoli's run in. We know what De Bruyne can do. We just hope that, with him being injured, I hope it doesn't take him a long time to actually get to his personal best. But yeah, we're just glad to see him back. Thibaut?
Yeah, no, without a shadow of a doubt, Van Roy, we are all very glad to see KDB back in action. Hopefully, he'll be able to get more minutes in the upcoming games. But moving away from the Diego Maradona Stadium and moving to the Allianz Stadium, where we saw Juventus entertaining Pisa, it ended in a 4-0 win for the home side. They finally got the spark that would ensure that they exploded on the pitch. Pause. After weeks of so much frustration with fluctuating performances from this Juventus side, Kenan Yildiz, gentlemen, is an absolute sensation. If you don't know about this boy yet, I promise you tomorrow you will when he knocks your team out. A goal, an assist, and complete control, gentlemen, all round. Overall, Luciano Spalletti can be very happy with this reaction from his Juventus side, taking into account the topsy-turvy last couple of weeks that they've had, where they found themselves knocked out of the Champions League position, found themselves also knocked out of the Champions League position or the Champions League competition. So a 4-0 win against the Tower of Pisa, you can't ask for more than that. After that, gentlemen, I still say that this is probably one of the biggest fairy tale stories of the European game.
Fabregas must come coach
Nine.
Fabregas must come coach Man City.
Manchester City. Not Arsenal.
When Pep is gone.
Because this Como side led by Cesc Fabregas came away from home with a 2-1 victory against Cagliari. This is one of the surprise stories of the season. Como's third consecutive win lifts them into the top 4 conversation, specifically fourth spot on the Serie A log table. They are in contention, gentlemen, to qualify for the Champions League next season. I don't think anybody is ready.
Hey, no, you know what? Well done, and I can't wait for him to get a real job. Obviously, coaching in a Cup giant, where we move up to back home. The Nedbank Cup reminded us why South African football is so unpredictable. My question is, did it actually expose that the PSL and the gap with the Motsepe League is actually not so much? The only difference is funding. PSL clubs are just funded more, but they don't know how to spend their money. Instead of spending it maybe on more exotic ways to get their guys fitter, stronger, whatnot. They just still take them to Virgin Active. They still.
Yeah, you know what it is, Lebza. You know what it is, Lebza. The so-called big teams this season in the PSL have all been competing on the continent, you see. So I think that overload of games, right? This is one of those competitions I think that the would-be big teams have sacrificed, in hopes of, climbing up the ladder on the African continent. Unfortunately, for the most part, outside of Mamelodi Sundowns, these guys have been unsuccessful, you see. But I think in another circumstance, let's say if maybe these guys were not participating, I think then maybe their preparation for the Nedbank Cup, I think would have been absolutely different, because normally every single year, this time of the season or this a moment of the campaign, we're always finding the same teams in there.
But dog, I don't think South African football teams work out enough. I don't think they gym enough, man. Like, I think they need to spend more time.
I agree.
Like, they need
I agree. True story.
4 times a week or 3 times a week. If that's your job, like 6 a.m., you guys should be on the field.
They look malnutritioned.
They look very skinny, bro. Like, you can't be a 26-year-old and you're a sportsman and you look like you run marathons.
They look very skinny, bro.
Look, there are certain muscles for certain sports. You see, if you are a marathon runner, you have certain muscles. They suit your sport because you have to be light on your feet. If you are an American football player, usually you have strong upper body and strong legs because you're going to pump someone, just like in rugby, depending on the position you play in rugby. Even when you're a basketball player, you can be a big is okay to have a bit of a body like Shaq, but the ones that are on the sides need to run like crazy, so they need to be skinny, So these football players, man, I don't think they spend their money on nutrition and stuff like that. Like you should. I would have a nutritionist live at my house, or he could after cooking my dinner, she can go home or go home, Anyway, Roy, start us off about these giant killers, dog.
It is 100% true, ne? And if you look at it, ne, I think I can run certain PSL players away in a sprint. I think I can run. I can show them dust. I can show them flames, Baba. I'm not putting a challenge out there, but
anyone that would like to challenge us, we've got Roy right here. We've got Roy right here who would like to challenge you. Hit us there in the challenges. I'm not running with no bag.
Slow down.
Yeah, no. But yeah, I agree. They can, they can do more. If you look at giant killers, everyone that is coming from lower leagues, lower tiers, they actually those people run and they never stop running, and it's evident. Like if you look at Keswick Stars, they've become the giant killers of this tournament called the Nedbank Cup. After knocking out Orlando Pirates, they are now eliminated Amazulu. And then meanwhile, Milford on the other end, they stunned Sekhukhune on penalties. Durban City, once again, they survived the dramatic penalty shootout against Golden Arrows. But this is what knockout football basically do to you. It destroys your reputation at the end of the day. It's painful to go out of a cup, and it sometimes it hurts even more. Like it's a small team. I'm not saying that the guys are not fit enough, but then if you look at how the other teams were playing against all of the giants, I would swear that it was an exhibition.
No, like I think there needs to be an up in the level of these guys' workout, but I don't know how we're going to do that. But we need to have, because Sundowns is a very fit team. You can see that Sundowns is fit. Second half, certain teams start drop level. Sundowns just still keeps running because they've obviously adopted quite a lot of Europeans to come and train the club. I remember when they brought the guy from Barcelona also to help with the club. I'm sure because they wanted him to help with the the youth. Just so that he can start that whole Barca.
Johan Neeskens.
Yeah.
Yes. When they wanted to just start that whole passing thing from the youth so that it carries on like that. It mustn't be something just that the first team does. So that's why it really then works well when teams do like that, because then Sundowns has got some European in them because they run a lot. Anyway, guys, it is that time when we look forward to the week that is called a Champions League week. To any wives watching, you know what you have to do. This is when your man, is going to probably stay up at night to watch a certain team. But now there are two things that might happen. You might wake up and he's very depressed. He's moody, doesn't even greet. Or you might wake up and he's like, "Hey, babe, how you doing?" Even spank your butt or something just to be like excited. Believe me, this week matters to you. It matters. So just make sure that in the morning you just test it out quickly, check him out, like which one is it? You say, hey babe, if you get a hey babe, just know they lost. Anyway, the weekend drama was just a warm-up because this week is the biggest club competition in world football and it's making a return like Schwarzenegger. It is back. The UEFA Champions League round of 16. Imagine, we've just got to the last of 16 and we've had these other matches that played 2 weeks or 3 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Like, Champions League doesn't end, man, but it's about to become rock and roll football because it has to end by May.
Down.
So you can imagine March, April, May. These 3 months are about to be pregnant with a lot of football, and the fixtures are absolutely mouth-watering. Heavyweight clashes like PSG versus Chelsea. Oh, I said heavyweights. Sorry, not those ones. Tactical battles. Tactical battles all over the place. You got your Guardiolas, you've got your Simeones, you've got your Flicks, you've got your Arbaloas. Hey, and careers that could be defined in 90 minutes. Does Arbaloa, after the Manchester City match, get the job? Or do they give him the boot as City fly back to England? Let's break them down. Timo, let's start with you.
First of all, we're kicking it off in Turkey as Galatasaray will be
Movie selling.
entertaining the Reds. Hey, Chance, can you hear me?
No, I can hear me. I can hear him.
Now, this is one of the
But
most.
you are not
intimidating
moving.
away
You are
fixtures.
sitting like this.
No, he's moving on my side, bruh.
I'm moving,
think-
Van
Oh,
Roy.
it's on my side.
Yo, I got nice internet. Thank you, Vodacom. My nice internet.
Yeah, you see, Van Roy, since you started using that lightning skin complexion things, you're becoming a real problem.
No, your camera is working too hard to make
Oh,
you light
no,
skin.
guys.
Now it's forgetting
Your
for the
camera is
network.
working too
Sorry,
hard,
man.
Van Roy.
That was me. I'm actually using a touchscreen laptop, so my finger was against the screen. Pause.
Yo,
So it
touchscreen
frees
laptop.
everything.
Touchscreen laptop.
Askis,
Hey,
askis.
check this out, gentlemen. Now,
All right.
Yeah, Baba, you can ask Vito Corleone. Good.
Now listen, gents. Now, this is one
Yeah.
of the most intimidating away fixtures
Chibo.
in European football. The Rams Park in Istanbul will be absolutely electric. Liverpool come in with momentum after eliminating Wolverhampton Rovers in the FA Cup, but Galatasaray at home are fearless. Now listen, these are the key tactical battles that we will be seeing on the pitch. Liverpool's high pressing game versus Galatasaray direct attacking transition. If Liverpool score early, they will be in contention to control proceedings in the game. But if the Turkish side drag them into a physical battle, this becomes very dangerous. And I don't want to lie to you, Van Roy. Me personally, I think Victor Osimhen will be looking at Virgil, Beyonce, Van Dijk like a seafood platter at Ocean Pacific.
Right, Baba. Sisovona, we will see. I know it's gonna be a tough match, but yeah, we'll see. We're also gonna see Newcastle face Barcelona. This one for me, gents, this is fascinating. Newcastle's strength is intensity, aggression, and home atmosphere. The St. James Park on a
You need to
Champions-
pronounce the home atmosphere like they would say it. Stop. Newcastle's going to have some intensity, some aggression,
James Park.
and some home atmosphere. It's everything.
Yeah. Next best thing after the podcast, I'll get a seasonal ticket to go there. But yeah, Barcelona also arrive at confidence, Baba. You cannot play with them after the crucial La Liga win against Athletic Club. And the man everyone will be watching is that 18-year-old Lamine Yamal. The teenage sensation has become Barcelona's match winner. So we hope to see flames. If Newcastle give him space, he is going to punish them with everything that he got.
Oh, Atalanta goes, and plays Come Dine With Me with Bayern Munich. and it is sure going to be pure attacking football. Atalanta always play this fearless, high-tempo football under Gasperini, but Bayern Munich are ruthless in Europe. But for me, I'm actually interested to see if Bayern Munich can translate their dominance in Bundesliga in Champions League, because they basically dominate the Bundesliga. Now, at least PSG's got a challenge now, they got to win some matches to win the league. But Bayern Munich, they are challenged every 4 years. Someone challenges them every 4 years, like a World Cup, But in this match with Atalanta, the midfield control is going to be so important, because if Bayern dominate possession, they're definitely going to suffocate Atalanta. But then, if Atalanta turn this into an open game, then Bayern could be in serious, serious trouble. But I would say anybody betting, expect goals.
Yeah, Neil, that is going to be I hope there is going to be controversy. I hope that the goals are actually going to be there. We can expect the goals and only to find that boom, it's only a one-sided attack. But yeah, it is going to be a very, very good match. We're also going to see Atletico Madrid faced off Tottenham. This one is going to be a war. It's really going to be a war. Atletico Madrid, they are known for taking out teams like Tottenham. Tottenham, on the other hand, they are sitting in their domestic league. They are sitting at number 16. I think they're also going to put up a fight. So, yeah, for me, this one is going to be war. Atletico Madrid are masters of knockout football, gentlemen. So, they come in that game with discipline. They're going to show a lot of discipline. They're going to be organized, and they're going to be ruthless as well. Tottenham, on the other end, they rely on attacking flair and speed. I want to see them actually keep gas in the tank for the later stages of the game, because once that steam is gone and that speed is out of the game, I forget it, Baba. It's going to be I don't want to say the word. I don't want to say it. It's a swear word, but yeah. I hope that both teams perform. No, I won't. I'll reserve it. But going through the Metropolitano Stadium is one of the toughest tests in Europe. So if Spurs basically cannot break Atletico's defense structure, then it's going to be a long night for them. They're going to see flames. They're going to crack bricks. That's what I can say.
I see a long night for Tottenham. Atletico know how to play matches like this. But Wednesday, the football goes on. Because if Tuesday is exciting, man, I think Wednesday becomes a bit bigger because of the matches that we have in this area here. Thibaut, start us off with one.
Gentlemen, we are seeing Bayer Leverkusen entertaining the Arsenal at the Bayer Arena. This will be a tactical chess match. Leverkusen are one of the most intelligent teams in Europe. They play a brand of football that is fluid. They press high, and the attack is vertical. But Arsenal, on the other hand, are extremely balanced this season. And just in the key battles for me will be in the middle of the pitch. Who will be able to control proceedings in the middle of the pitch? Whoever controls the middle of the pitch controls the match. This could go either way, gentlemen. I think personally, Arsenal have better personnel, but because they will be away, I think the home ground advantage will definitely spur on this Leverkusen side to go for maximum results against this Arsenal side that looks almost unbeatable this season.
Yeah, that's gonna be a very, very good watch. If Arsenal makes it through, it just proves why they are on top. But then pause. Also, we're gonna see PSG take on the world champions. So This one is very, very spicy. I think this match is going to be very, very captivating. Both teams will come with the energy and flair. PSG come into this game after losing to Monaco at home. The confidence are gone and shaken. Chelsea, on the other hand, showed resilience against Wrexham. It is a team that comes from I don't know how many tiers down they are on.
Mhm.
I think they're in the EFL. I'm not mistaken. They in the first, yeah, the first league after EPL. So yeah, but
Mhm.
this one, this tie basically will be decided by individual brilliance, and if PSG's attacking stars find their rhythm, Chelsea could struggle. But if Chelsea can press aggressively, then I think PSG's defense will look vulnerable.
Oh
That's
man, then we come to the dark horse tie. These are one of those people that if you are a betting person, you bet on one of them to win the Champions League, and I'm sure the odds give you millions, right? But Bodo slash
I
Glimt versus Sporting from what you call Portugal. You know what? Bodo Glimt has shocked Europe before, right? Could they do it again at their own stadium? Obviously, because it's definitely a very hard stadium to play in there in Norway, especially with the weather and the pitch conditions. And guess what? The Bodo Glimt players know how to play in those freezing, snow-filled pitches. But Sporting, however, arrived with more experience at this level. But does level matter when you have players that are ready? This could be one of the most unpredictable ties of the round. I don't know who to vote for, but I'm loving the fairy tale of Bodo Glimt. So they got my vote for this game.
yeah,
And
near.
then, and finally, the blockbuster, the match the entire football world will be watching, Real Madrid versus Man City. Roy, let's hear from you first.
Yeah, near. Hey, this is gonna be monumental. This is big, and if you look at it in recent years, um, Real Madrid knocked out Man City more times, and
Mm.
I hope that it will be a different a different narrative this time around. But we'll see. You know, this is modern Champions League rivalry. It's Pep Guardiola's tactical machine versus Real Madrid's European DNA. I mean, these people have the most Champions League trophies, but Madrid don't just play the Champions League; they basically own it.
Yeah, gentlemen, I'm sorry now. I don't want to be unruly or
Ketibul.
anything, but I think I heard Van Roy say something about he hopes that the narrative changes this time around. You know, my man, just do yourself a favor and not bet on Manchester City. Just focus on your own club, bro. Just focus on your own club, bro. Because the key battle in this game, gentlemen,
Okay,
will be in midfield. Now,
we'll
Manchester
see.
City rely on possession and positional play. Real Madrid, on the other hand, are explosive in transitions and individual brilliance. One mistake, one moment, that's all it takes at this level. Personally, this will be a closed match, taking into account the injuries that Real Madrid have, taking into account the level with which this Manchester City are playing at, I really see or envision a close match that will really be broken up by a catastrophic mistake. This one could end in a draw and be decided at the Etihad.
All right. So, gentlemen, one question before we move on quickly. Which team sends the biggest message this week? Thibaut?
Or definitely Manchester City. If they win at the Santiago Bernabeu, then the rest of Europe should be worried.
Roy?
Van Roy.
I think it's Bodo Glimt. For me,
Yeah.
I think it's Bodo Glimt. If they can make it through, and they go and they advance, I think they're gonna throw everything at it, and it doesn't matter who is gonna stand in front of them. They're gonna be like that bullet train that just wants to go past. I think, yeah, for me, Bodo Glimt.
Oh, yeah,
Not
ladies and
Liverpool.
gentlemen. Not Liverpool, bruh. Liverpool are gonna
Yeah,
get
not
stuck in
Liverpool.
Turkey. Liverpool are gonna get stuck. They're gonna get stuck in Turkey and not come back. Well, ladies and gentlemen, the Champions League is back, and if this week delivers what we expect, then football fans are in for something special this season. But it's time for the flop and the prop of the week. Timo.
Gentlemen, let's kick it off with the flops of the week. Time for our weekly debate. Now, kicking things off, our first nominee, gentlemen, is Real Betis, who are slipping further away from Champions League qualification after they registered another defeat over the weekend. Our second nominee is Paris Saint-Germain, losing at home before a Champions League tie as big as this, losing a league game against their Club World Cup rematch versus the so-called world champions. And lastly, we have Internazionale losing the Derby de Madonnina when they could have stretched their title lead to 10 points. Except Van Roy, who's your flop of the week?
My flop of the week is PSG losing at home before Champions League tie. You basically gain confidence from your last game and you build off of that. So they coming in that game with basically nothing but you know what, team spirit. So flop of the week is PSG.
Now, you know what? I feel sad for Inter because of the fact that they were thinking about, the Champions League, right? That they've got a match midweek and they really got to play well. Weaker side, while Inter Milan has got no worries about Champions League. They could play and they are resting this week, watching other people run, So Inter was not probably as strong as it should be if there wasn't a match to worry about on the Wednesday. So I feel sad for them. But PSG used to bully that league. So I'm really surprised what's going on. Why is PSG actually like this? And was Real Betis the one that played Real Madrid?
No, it wasn't. It wasn't. It
video.
wasn't. Yeah, no, it wasn't Lebza.
Oh no! Then I won't make them a flop.
It was
Celta Vigo. I'll go for PSG also because they're actually making it into an interesting match. Thank you for being a flop. It means this match this week, you guys need to wake up.
Yeah, it goes without saying. Definitely,
and for you, Thibaut?
PSG are definitely the flop of the week because they've actually given us something that we haven't had in a long time where League One is concerned. They are on the brink of losing control of the league title. And if Lens continue in the manner in which they've been playing, who knows, gentlemen? Stefan Roy.
Yeah. So, guys, the props of the week is as follows. Coming at you guys in first place is Keswick Stars, the true giant killers of Southern African football. Coming at you at second place, it's Atletico Madrid. Their comeback resilience showed the other team flames. And then third place is Monaco's fearless victory against you-know-who. So, for me, guys, I'm going to go first on this one. I'm going with Keswick Stars. They are my props of the week. They are proving, you know what? It's like watching a movie, and this guy is just beating all of the odds, and odds are stacked against him like crazy, and this guy just advanced in life. So yeah, I give it to them.
I will also give it to Keswick Stars. They knocked out Pirates. Who cannot dislike them? Like, really?
Ish. And you, Thibaut?
No, listen. My prop of the week is definitely going to Monaco. I think in the last 4 weeks or so, they've met PSG 3 times. And in all those occasions, the game could have gone in any direction. So I think this week, without a shadow of a doubt, Monaco are my prop of the week for blowing the league title up.
Was Pogba playing?
He's injured again.
Yeah, it's gonna take long to get back.
To be honest, he really has not had any continuity
Yeah,
He at the beginning of the season when they thought that he was fit enough to play, he got injured in training, and then he was on the injury table for eons and eons. And then towards the end of the year, I think in December, he got fit enough to play again. But shortly after, he got injured again. So I don't know. I don't know if Paul Pogba is actually going to ever come back and actually be consistent or
Neither Paul
be
Pogba
healthy
we
enough.
know.
yeah.
You know, I think the Paul Pogba we know is long gone. I think that Pogba left us the moment he went back to Old Trafford, you know, because that Paul Pogba that played for Juventus, you know, the first time around, that guy, you know, he was literally, you know, under Toni Kroos and Andres Iniesta in terms of when we rank him with some of the very best midfielders. So,
True.
you know, I think if we look back now in hindsight, going back to Old Trafford actually signaled the end of his career, because if you take the World Cup out, you know, it's been downhill. And I know he won a Europa League with Manchester United, but for the trajectory that Pogba was on, this is definitely, you know, less than what we would have envisioned for him.
No, yeah, Man United did slow him down. He actually chose the wrong team. He was supposed to go to Madrid. When
he was.
When Zidane wanted him, he was supposed to go there. Anyway, Roy, close it out for us, dog.
Ladies and gentlemen, just to hit you with the final word, this weekend basically reminded us why football is so unpredictable. And it shows you that, you know what, favorites don't always win. Favorites fall. Underdogs rise. They rise above the ashes. And once again, history changes in 90 minutes. And that's all I'm going to say. Thibaut?
Yeah, no, thank you to our viewers. As Van Roy's message was sponsored by Lemon Light. It has done wonders for his complexion in today's edition of Let's Argue. Now, listen, the time races are tightening up everywhere. And with the Champions League returning, the stakes are about to reach fever level. Gentlemen, it's about to get wild.
I can't wait, man. But you know what? I'm such an old man. I can't even last if a match starts at 10, bro. I'm like, yo. I wake up and I actually
the
hear
game is over.
Talking. The pundits are talking, and I'm like, yo. And I'm hoping like, and then I look for Barcelona score, and I'm like, yes, at least we won. Then I look at the highlights as I go to bed. So, you know what? This is why we love this game. From the streets of Soweto to the stadiums in Europe, football unites us all. And this has been Let's Argue Football, where the passion is Makoya and the debates never end. Ladies and gentlemen, good night. See you Friday to talk the Champions League.